right, hey guys, it is Miss Naparata, and we are going to look at problems 8 through 19 from the percents classwork. I apologize that we did not have enough time to get through them all in class, so I am going to go through each of the problems and make it sort of a tutorial slash review, going through all of them so that you kind of have an extension of the class period, since 46 minutes just isn't enough time. So here we go. If you have already completed numbers 8 and 9, feel free to fast forward to the problems that you need specifically. Although I do encourage you to watch all of them, because any review and practice that you have will help you. So with that said, here we go. We're going to start with number 8. So number 8 is asking us to write and solve an equation to answer the question. So we need to know what percent 17 is of 68. So first of all, we're going to set up the percent proportion, and then we're going to turn it into an equation. So the very first thing I see is I don't know my percent. So that is going to be my percent in the percent proportion. If you remember, we have the part divided by the whole equal to the percent over 100. So I don't know my percent. I look for the number that's following the word of. Of what? That is the whole amount. So my whole will be the 68 and my part will be the 17. So I'm going to start by writing it like this. So I have 17 as my part over 68 as my whole. I don't know the percent over 100. Okay? This is where you would cross multiply and make equation out of this. Many of you will just cross multiply and divide without having to write an equation. So 68 times x is equal to 17 times 100. So when I work this out, it's going to give me 68x is equal to 1700 divided by 68. X for the percent is equal to 25%. If you chose not to write it as an equation, the easiest way to really do it is 17 times 100 divided by 68 would give you the 25%. Okay? Next one, what number is 16% of 80? So again, I look for the word of. I know that that is my whole. Here is my percent. I don't know my part. So I don't know the part. I know the whole. I know my percent, and 100 stays there. So I have 80 times 60 is going to be 1280, and 100 times x. Divide by 100. That's going to leave me with x is equal to 12.8. So 12.8 is 16% of 80. All right, now we're identifying the percent of change. We first have to decide, is it an increase or a decrease, and then we have to find the percent of the actual change. So first of all, I'm looking, when I go from 15 books to 21 books, is that going to be an increase or a decrease? So my amount of books went up, so I know my answer is going to be an increase. Percent of change is like the wrap that we know. So take the old and the new and subtract the two. So 21 minus 15, put it over the original. I started with 15 books. I make a fraction. Now I'm going to take the fraction by dividing, by simplifying this and making it a decimal. So 21 minus 15 is 6, divided by 15 is 0.4. Now I want to change to a percent and make a fraction. change to a percent to get my percentage of increase. So my answer would be a 40% increase in the amount of books. Number 11, from 20 cars to 24 cars. So we know that that was a decrease. Take the old and the new and subtract the two. Put it over the original. Then I'm going to do the math. 60 minus 24 divided by 60 is going to give me 0.6. Change it to a percent. So I get a 60% decrease in the amount of cars. Percent of change. So now I have 84%. First of all, this should be over here. Okay? So 84% increased by 12%. Okay? So first of all, I have to figure out what 12% of 84 is before I can figure out how much it's going to be increased. So I will do 84 plus 12% on my calculator. Plus 12% is 94.08. If you're not using one of these class calculators, you would need to convert our percent to a decimal and multiply 84 times 0.12 to get 10.08, and then add the 84 back to give you 94.08. Okay? 820 brushes decreased by 25%. Decrease means it's going down. So if you're using our calculators that we will be using on the test, it'll be 820 minus 25%. So 820 minus 25% will give you 615 brushes. Or if you're not using one of these calculators that has the percent sign, you would multiply 820 times 0.25 to get 205, and then you'll subtract 820 minus 205 to get 615. I'm just checking to make sure we're still recording. Okay. So while you're doing these, if anything does not make sense to you or you have questions, please write them down on the back, and when we come into class tomorrow, you're more than welcome to ask questions and I'll be happy to answer them. So we're finding the original, discount, sale price or selling price. The original price was 82. We are discounting by 10%. So the first thing I need to figure out, is a discount going to be making the number larger or smaller? When you go shopping, if I'm buying $82 jeans and there's a 10% discount, my jeans are going to be cheaper. So it will be a discount. My price will go down. So I will do 82 minus 10% on my calculator. 82 minus 10% will give me $73.80 as the sale price for my whatever we're buying. Okay? Here we have an original price. We don't know the discount amount, and a sale price. So we are using the percent of change formula to figure out what percent did we save. So we're going to take the old and the new and subtract the two. Put it over the original. Now I have 125 minus 81.25 divided by 125. That's going to give me 0.35, which then converts to 35% as my answer. Just going to scroll up here to get the last few problems in. Number 16 and 17 is simple interest, so we're using the formula I equals P times R times T. So we're filling in what we know and solving for the missing amount. So we know that our interest is 84. Our principal amount is 600. Our rate is 7%. I convert convert that to a decimal, so it's 0.07. I do not know the time. Now I solve just like a regular equation. So 600 times 600 times 0.07 is 42t. And now I want to get t by itself. The opposite of 42 times t is dividing by 42. That leaves me with 2 equals time. So it would be 2 years. Over here, interest earned, we don't know. So I'm going to fill in what I know. I don't know the interest. I know the principal. I know the rate. I'm going to convert that to a decimal. And I know my time in years. So I'm just multiplying all 3 of those to figure out what my interest is. So interest will equal $150. Okay? Remember, you're going to write down questions on the back of your paper so that you can ask them when you come to class tomorrow if you have any questions. The percent of sales tax is 6%. What is the sales tax on a skateboard that costs $98? Number 18. So I know if my skateboard costs $98 and it's a discount, it's going to subtract 6%. 90 minus 6%. 98 minus 6% will give you $92.12. Or you could figure out, do 98 times 6% and then subtract that amount. Finally, the price of your favorite brand of jeans was $35 last month. This month they're 42%. What is the percent of change? So percent of change, old and new. Take the old and the new and subtract the 2, put it over the original. Divided by 35, that's 0.2. Convert it to a percent. And did my jeans go up or down? It went up by 20%. So that was 19, it would be a 20% increase. So any of these, make sure, any of them where I'm using the percent button on the calculator, these are the same calculators that you will have on the FSA. If you don't have this calculator at home, I understand. You can choose to use like an iPhone calculator or something else that may have a percent sign, or you can do it kind of freehand way where you multiply the number times the percent represented as a decimal. And again, write down your questions on the back of your paper so that I can answer them for you in class tomorrow. And hopefully this helped. And I know it definitely saved time for us. We're going to get into equations and expressions tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Have a good night.